This has been the music, if you will, that you've been hearing from French officials for the past 4 months since the Paris attacks, and even in some cases before. And actually, the finance minister, Michel Sapin, said that, the Belgians were probably naive, quote unquote. And it so happens that the French Prime Minister, Manuel Valls, was in Brussels today. He spoke earlier, and he addressed the issue, and he says, no, I don't see any naivete in the Belgian attitude. They're doing their job fine. So obviously damage control, because if you're criticizing the country you're supposed to be working closely with to track terrorists, it doesn't give a good image. But we know that behind the scenes there have been some tensions. The French have criticized the Belgians for not being tough enough, especially by looking the other way at what's happening in some areas, especially of Brussels. It's eerily similar to the criticism you heard from France against the UK a decade ago or something, whereby France was saying the United Kingdom is welcoming people who are speaking at mosques and inciting and so on. There's been more of a crackdown in the UK since. The French are saying this hasn't really happened in Belgium. Obviously nowadays, after an attack, you have to show solidarity. You cannot criticize too much, but we know that European cooperation has been lacking and lagging behind what the terrorists have been up to. Let's just remind our viewers that what happened in Brussels, we heard warnings from senior Belgian officials several days before. Something was going to happen. We have 30 or more people on the loose. We know that back in December, they had shut down the subway system. So they probably knew the subway was a major target. And nevertheless, this happened. Obviously, the French are not going to play the blame game, because one could also criticize what they've been doing before the attacks here.
About that now.
Exactly. But clearly there is some tension between Paris and Brussels over what should be done.
And it's put security here in France back in the focus. There was one, I think, FIFA official suggesting that Euro 2016 matches should be played behind closed doors unless the French are confident they've got the security situation under control. Manuel Valls today was talking about reinforcing security. There's already a state of emergency in place here. I mean, what else really can be done? You can't go much further than France already has.
Well, basically, there's not much you can do. This is not what politicians are going to tell you. They're going to say, okay, we're going to send more troops on the street. France announced yesterday 1,600 more security forces. But if you talk to any French security official or even the military, they tell you we don't have any personnel left. Everyone is out there. We can't even track all
and at some point, they're going to want to go on holiday.
That's a possibility. But also, more seriously, they cannot even really read the intelligence properly. I mean, they're totally overwhelmed by the amount of intelligence they're getting, and probably they're overwhelmed by the number of suspects they're supposed to track. And that has been an issue in France, and that is an issue in Europe or even in the US as well. And this is really this kind of overwhelming feeling that the security forces are having, and they're really stretched to the limit. And this has been really a major issue. And with regards to Euro 2016, there's a lot of talks that some of the so-called Fanzones, where fans are going to gather just to watch the games, could be suspended or eliminated because it's too much of a security risk. For now, everything is said to be under control, but they're going to be under serious consideration, because obviously a major sporting event like the Euro 2016 happening in this context is a major security challenge for the French authorities.